My name is Javier. I'm from Environment Design.
I'm Shannon. I'm from Communication Design.
My name is Tania and I'm from Product Industrial Design.
There is a lot of emotional detachment, physical detachment, and there's a lot of how we don't make conscious decisions until we meet something that's out of the ordinary.
The definition is basically humans having an innate tendency to want to connect to nature.
Biophilia is actually an innate tendency in humans to feel connected to nature.
Different aspects of biophilia, from material studies to emotional studies to psychological, physical, everything plays a part. The five senses as well. The emotional detachment from the real world. So it's sort of like ascending to a different plane.
Help people understand what biophilia is about, because we find that people often mistake it with things like sustainability, green design, and all these type of things.
How biophilic design can evoke their senses and their emotions as well.
I would say the 2 months was rough because having to work with people that I've personally never interacted with in real life, over a span of 2 months doing research together was very rough because I'm a very people person, so I need to put names to faces and also to talk to people in real life. That's how I'm more comfortable with.
For about 2 months, we actually did a lot of research about different things regarding biophilia. And then for the past 3 weeks, we've actually been in school building, creating this whole setup. I guess when we were at home, it was kind of easy because you just do your part, then someone do their part, that kind of thing.
We didn't actually have any fixed roles during this project. Of course, all three of us are from very different courses, so of course we're taught very different things as well. So when it came to actually setting up this particular exhibition, we had to first figure out what exactly we needed to do, what we needed to get done. Then we had to figure out which one of us can do what.
I feel mainly because of COVID, then a lot of things was restricted. So even small things like communication was a big problem. For example, at home, right, you can't physically be there to tell the person oh, you should do this work now or this and that. At the same time, you don't want to overstep your boundaries. In school, right, have a short amount of time to complete this exhibition. So there wasn't really any room for doubt or errors.
Now that we are in the stage of building the exhibition, it is easier in the sense that communication is a lot easier. You want to talk to someone, just go over to the person and talk to them about it. Online is different because we have to make sure we WhatsApp the person, make sure we're not spamming the person so that he replies or he or she replies. I think my biggest challenge was the resources. First of all, our budget didn't allow for a lot of things that we wanted to do. So at first we thought we wanted to layer the whole room with cloth and divide, but then that wasn't a very viable option because of the cost. Yeah, we had to go and look for resources. So maybe what can we borrow from the school or what can we use to replace fabric? The fabric we got was actually very see-through. So we actually layered a ground sheet behind it so that it's more opaque.
In communication design, our work is mostly digital. We don't really do a lot of hands-on work, but as you can see, building an exhibition is quite hands-on. So of course, a lot of the things that we had to do was really not something I've ever done before. For example, assembling these wooden towers. I remember we had to use a power drill in order to put them together, and also cutting the vinyl as well. I have never done it before.
Due to the diversity of the skill sets, sometimes we do face setbacks because we are from 3 different courses, right? We are taught differently, for example, on research, how we're supposed to do a certain thing. Then the end outcome might be a bit different. Then we have to kind of change it around.
Well, first it was the time management aspect of this project because we were given 3 weeks in order to finish everything, and it was quite rushed because some of the things that we needed for the exhibition we couldn't afford because due to budget constraints and all that. And then afterwards, when it came to actually setting up the place, there were like issues cropping up, like for example, the vinyl machine didn't work properly, or like the printer also didn't work properly. Then some of the things that we tried to like stick up or glue together kept falling off as well. So there were a lot of these like little issues that kept cropping up and delaying our productivity as well. We had to look into a lot of alternatives and also seek advice from our supervisors as well. So we also asked them like, is there any cheaper places that we can buy so and so item in bulk, or like, is there anything that we can borrow from the school? My favourite part of this project was the last few days when things are really starting to come together, instead of like a pile of supplies here and some tools over there, and nothing's really showing for all the effort that we've put in.
I think my favourite part was actually interviewing some industry professionals and also some professors from different schools, because we actually got to see a lot of their insight. Like, they shared with us a lot of their experience in the industry and how it can apply to biophilia. So as an EBD student, that taught me a lot, because as environment designers, like biophilia is a very relevant topic. A lot of things they shared are things that I would be able to apply in future.
When we actually came back to school for these past 3 weeks, right, it was the best period of this project, because like we finally get to go back to school, like get to see this exhibition come to life through us like actually setting up the whole entire thing.
Personally, I feel that even though we are from three different courses, the stereotype is that product designers only are good at making products. The environment designers are good at designing spaces, and CMD people are good at designing like graphics. But actually, we have a lot in common, because we are all like designers, right? We have a lot of the same thinking, maybe just different ways to go about doing it. So sometimes maybe as an EVD student, like the exhibition, the first thing I'll think about is how people move about the space. And as maybe PID, they might think of what they want to implement in the space first.
If I'm from product design, I should just be building things. I can actually help out with other things also. And likewise for like my other group mates, they have like their own special skill sets. Let's say like if I'm working with teammate from communication design, that I can like give different inputs and all, so we can teach each other different things. I guess we like just kind of put in whatever we learned from like the past few years in poly, then we just kind of combine it together.
What I learned from my teammates is definitely like the different types of skills and programs that they use in their courses. So actually, both of them from EVD and PID, they use programs in order to render out like spaces and products. We don't learn that in CMD at all. If we wanted to do something like that, usually what we would do is we would just simply use Photoshop in order to edit some images and try our best to make it look as realistic as possible.
Collaborating with others really opens up your perspective to how different people from different courses or even careers work. So adapting and learning from these people is a very important thing for me to take away from this whole experience. Actually, initially, before this whole project started, when I was informed that I was going to work with a PID student and a CMD student, I was quite skeptical, because we are all so we all go through different modules. The way we look at things, the way we go about our designs are completely different. I also fear that we might not see eye to eye on a lot of things because of how we perceive certain things. So that's why when I first came in, I was a bit more reserved. But slowly throughout this whole internship experience, I realized that as long as I'm able to keep an open mind, a lot of things we can come to agreement, a lot of things we can also see eye to eye.
Because we are from 3 different courses, right? We are taught differently, for example, on research, like how we're supposed to do a certain thing. Then the end outcome might be a bit different. For example, even during research period, right? Then we have to kind of change it around. We just explain to each other what was taught to us when we were in the course. Then we just try to see which one fits best for the scenario.
Some knowledge from PID came in handy during the research process because Throughout the course of our research, we had to narrow down from a big topic of biophilia and slowly narrow it down to a specific subtopic that we wanted to focus on. So one of the things that we actually looked into was biophilic materials. So PID, I believe they deal more with that kind of stuff. So I think Tania's knowledge actually helped a lot with that.
To be honest, I would say is learning from the others. So for example, for me, I do my works in SketchUp and then I transfer everything to Photoshop. But for example, the PID and CMD people, they are more comfortable with working in Illustrator. So I can pick up like different software skills from them. And not only that, I also learn to perceive things differently. So instead of only worrying about the space as a whole, I also look more into specifics like how is this item, this product gonna affect how someone feels when he's walking throughout our exhibition, or how is this poster going to strike someone, how is this poster going to bring people into our exhibition. All these things are like my biggest takeaways from this experience.
I guess because before I collaborated with them, my understanding of their causes was superficial at best. Like I'll probably just be going off on their names only, like, oh, PID is just make things and EVD is something to do with the environment, I suppose. But now that I've actually worked with them, I understand like they actually look into more than just that. They also look into things like user experience, of course, sustainability, design, and other things like that.